Shoutout, Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to the show. It's me, Tamara. Yes, so this is going to be hopefully a very concise and to the point episode. Normally I like to just kind of see where it leads me, etc., but I'm kind of in a time crunch, so hopefully I can make it happen now. It needs to happen. But if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. New episodes drop every Thursday, so come on back through. You know what I'm saying? All my loyal supporters, thank you so much for continuing to listen, watch. Those of y'all who are getting into the YouTube videos, yeah, shout out to y'all. Get them views up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you so much for your support. If you're not, let me add this to the screen. You should totally be following me on social media. So, the link to my website is in the episode notes on both audio and on YouTube, tamarthedon.com. That's where you can find all things Twitter, Instagram, the Facebook page. Hell, if you need consulting services, I'm getting that up and going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead and check me out. Weekly podcast shout out this week is Take Up Space Podcast. This is a podcast that I listen to. She will have guests on. She will talk about a lot of different subjects, but it's all, from what I gather, centered kind of around like growth. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe I'm just summarizing it that way because that's how I view it, but I do enjoy her show. She also has live shows that she'll do. I think it's on Thursday. I haven't gotten to check one of those out because I actually have small group on Thursdays, but the link to all her stuff will be in the episode notes. This month, I don't think I'm going to do a separate live show, but don't trip because the podcast happy hour, of course, again, is happening this month. It's going to be on Jay's platform, Jay's Quick 3, JBoog for show, hashtag free JBoog for show because they, suspended her Twitter or whatever. But the link to her Twitter, oh, dang, I need to update that because it's probably the wrong Twitter. But the link to her Twitter is in the episode notes. So it'll be on her platform. As of right now, I'm pretty sure it'll be July 24th at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. If that changes, you'll hear that in a future episode. But I'm not going to do my own live show because I'm really trying to get my consulting company up and going. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I got my office space. Things have been in motion. So you guys are starting to kind of see the fruit of stuff I've been waiting to happen. But again, I'm not going to take clients until my foundation is really, really strong. So I also work a full-time job and podcast and work out and all these things. So I'm trying to get all my documents together before I start accepting clients. But I got to start accepting clients. You know what I'm saying? Can't have a business that ain't doing nothing. So for that reason, I'm not going to do a live show on my own this month. Ideally, we'll get back to that next month. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, podcast happy hour. Cool. So, hold on, y'all. Y'all don't even understand the type of nigga stuff that I got. Listen, ever since, I remember before I got into my 40s, people talked about how much they love the 40s. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get it because the 20s and the 30s, I learned a lot of hard lessons. The 20s and the 30s, I learned who I'm not. And I am the most sure I am and secure I am in myself, the most sure of myself and the most secure in myself than I have ever been. And it's not because of anybody. It's just because of my own reflection, the work I've been doing within myself. So y'all don't even understand the type of stuff that's going on. But today, like a real nigga should. I don't even know why drinking Hennessy just makes me feel like some real nigga stuff. Whatever. I guess that is stereotypically the drink that Black people drink. And so on Juneteenth on the podcast Happy Hour, I had me some Hennessy in a red cup. You know what I'm saying? Red Solo cup, like a real nigga should. And then it was 4th of July, but folks was calling it July 10th, Juneteenth part 2, whatever. I still have some left over, so I had some more. And I feel like today, since this is, I'm on my not petty tam, but kind of bag, you know what I'm saying, in this episode, I decided that, so yeah, Hennessy. I like to mix it with pineapple juice. I don't even know why. I mean, I've had it with like Coke and stuff, but so you will see me sipping on that. Okay. Again, I'm trying to be don't expect all the episodes to be like this, and hopefully I can be done by when I need to be done because I have other stuff that I have to get to. So today's episode, can we not? And I have been putting this episode together for like weeks because there have just really been a lot of things that either I've experienced personally, either stuff within my own self where I need to check myself. So I'm talking to my damn self when I say some of this, or it's some stuff that y'all need to quit doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So can we not? Okay. I think I have like notes and stuff. This ain't no off the dome episode. And I have 6 points that are just 6 things. Can we not do this anymore in the year 2021 of our Lord and Savior? You feel me? And I'm going to sip some Hennessy after I just said our Lord and Savior. Like, can we not? Number 1. Pre-pandemic, folks be out here struggling financially, but especially in this pandemic, it has really disgusted me the amount of scammers that call my phone, try to email me. Like, there has really just been an increase in people trying to scam me that it's so obvious because to me, it's so obvious, but I know there are people that fall for these things. And more recently, I got a voicemail from the student something people talking about, oh yeah, we're going to help you get rid of your student loans based on something with whatever Biden recently, decided. I remember seeing a news article, but I didn't read it because I know all information comes directly from the federal blah, blah, blah education stuff with all things. So like a news article may not apply to me. You know what I'm saying? But these damn scammers, y'all, I have no tolerance for people who try to scam people out of their money. First of all, I ain't got it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's number 1. Number 2, there are people that are like really, really struggling out here, and y'all really, really be trying to scam people when you really, really need to get a job, get a hustle, do something besides try to scam people. So can we not? If you just happen to be a scammer, you know what I'm saying, that tuned in to my podcast, first of all, thank you for the download. I appreciate that. But also respectfully, kind of disrespectfully, because you kind of ratchet for that. Can you not, because I don't be doing that. Can you not like scam people? Like, that's raggedy. Like, just please stop. Okay. Let's move on to the next point. Again, I'm trying to hurry up and get stuff done because I have other stuff to do. So what I've noticed is that whenever I talk to people, and I don't talk to a lot of people about everything that I'm doing, like the things that I'm most excited about have not even been released to the public yet. I finally got the logos, I should say, finalized for the brand that's going to launch. So I'm getting that together with the soft launch and that whole plan and whatnot, trademarking, etc. So like the things that I'm most excited about aren't even public yet, but people do know I've started a consulting company and people have seen me podcasting and this, that, and the other. And even like me talking about we're going to get a dog when we move. I think I mentioned on here we're in the process of moving. And can we not? Can you not? Can we not? Because I don't know if I've ever done this. But can we not, just because something didn't work out for you, can you not try to discourage the next person from it? I don't care what it is. Some people just need to figure things out on their own. Some things just don't apply to them, because just because you tried something and it didn't work out for you doesn't mean that it's not meant for me to do it, try it, have it, whatever. So can we not, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stop trying to act like you have like your way is the only way. So I guess we'll kind of tie this next one into this one. Stop thinking that just because you would do things a certain way, you would move a certain way. Stop thinking that that's the way it has to be for all people. There is no cookie cutter approach to life. Everybody has their own unique journey, just like everybody has their own unique purpose, just like everybody was created uniquely. You get the theme, unique, tailored to that specific person. You know what I'm saying? So just because something didn't work out for you doesn't mean it's not going to work out for me or the next person. And just because you would do something a certain way and I or the next person do not want to do it that way, it doesn't mean we're wrong. And you just got to stop thinking your way is the only way. If you will notice on this show, I talk a lot about being healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, relationally, and all these things, but I never say you have to do it this specific way. I always say this is what I do, and you need to figure out what works for you, because at the end of the day, it's just about being healthy. Being healthy, yes, we all need to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? How you get there, that's your way to figure out. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop acting like our way is the way for everyone, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. So we got to stop doing that. Okay. On to the next one. Mo fish in the sea. I have a story about that at the end, but that's not what this next one is. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when I say no. Okay. First of all, let's pause and let's park here for a second. I do not owe anyone an explanation. You know what I'm saying? For anything. I don't care who it is. Now, I guess maybe my kids, depending on what it is, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only people I'm obligated to. I'm not married. My mom, I mean, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So one of my biggest pet peeves, though, is because I am the type of person that, hold on, you know, anything goes, y'all. Just kidding. But I'm the kind of person that I do try to explain things at times because I want people to understand my rationale behind something. So my biggest pet peeve, not biggest, I got a lot of, but one of my pet peeves is if I explain to you my no and I tell you why I didn't do something, accept that no. Take that L if it's a L or whatever it is, but don't act like you are going to try to change my mind. Don't act like you are going to try to convince me further. First of all, don't even act like I owe you an explanation, because really I don't. Sometimes we got to just accept that no, even if they don't give an explanation. But can we not accept the no when people give it to us? Especially though when they give us an explanation. Take that no, take that L, whatever it is, whatever the context. If it's for you, whatever it is, it's for you. If it's not, sometimes it's not, or whatever it is. I know there are different circumstances, but I'm sorry. If somebody said no, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't make somebody do anything. So can we not act like we ain't got to take these no's that folks is giving us? Because, for example, I wanted, starting a consulting company. We'll just use this as an example because I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. You can have an end goal in mind. So my end goal was starting the company. But let's say businessman A, let's say I wanted to get office space somewhere else and they said no and they gave me their reasons why no. Does that mean, oh, the whole plan is in shambles and I can't get office space? No, it just means I need to take that no, stick to the script, stick to the goal. So the goal is get office space, but it doesn't mean I have to badger this person to get what I want because they said no. Now that's a very like lighthearted example, but it gets worse when like you ask people to do stuff like on a more personal level and they act like they can't say no, take that no. No is no, and you just got to accept it. And like I said, people really don't owe you an explanation, but if they've given you the courtesy of an explanation, then you definitely should accept that no. You hear me? You feel me? You hear me? You hear me? You feel me? Whatever you want to, perceive that statement as, stop acting like you ain't got to say no. That's the biggest thing. All right. So the last point. Dang, this episode, I think I'm probably going to meet my goal. Okay, this is probably going to be the shortest episode in the history of episodes, but it is what it is because I just wanted to get in and out. You feel me? Now, we got to stop. Can we not? Now, this one, I'm speaking to myself, like definitely. So hold on. We got to stop acting like things don't bother us when we do. That I'm talking to myself because what I realize is that, yes, I am the type of person who likes to have a positive outlook and I like to look at the bright spot. And I may have talked about this on here or I may have blogged it, which if you don't read my blog or you didn't know I do a blog, every Monday on my website at noon, a new blog post drops. I talk about, whatever I'm thinking, feeling, whatever. I actually write it on Monday so that it's my fresh thoughts for the day. And every Monday it drops. So check that out. As with everything else, link is in the episode notes, tamarathedon.com. Okay. And I think it might have been on my blog but I don't know. Somewhere I had said that what I realized is that I try to be positive to the point of almost not even owning or admitting to myself the feelings of hurt, neglect, rejection, whatever it is I'm feeling. And I got to stop that. It is okay to have feelings. It is okay to be hurt. It is okay to be disappointed. And I'm going to give you a specific example from this, where this came from. So, first of all, I need y'all to know that when I had said I was going to have a Snatch 40s hoe phase, whether or not I was serious, maybe I'm joking, maybe it's Maybelline, like I had said on my IG post, but whether or not I'm serious doesn't even matter, because how you going to have a Snatch 40s hoe phase if you can't even get no hoes in the hotation? So I got a hotation, no hoes, so I just got a tation is what I've been saying or whatever. Again, if you happen to be listening, I don't even know what to tell you because I found out my mom listened to that episode, and you know what I'm saying? I'm 41 though. This is me. This is who I am. I'm giving y'all my thoughts. Do I always act on them? No, but you ride my train of thought on this show. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this whole online dating thing, and it's so funny because so many people talk about, well, I like to do this and I like to do that, and that's cool. That's what you do. That's what works for you. But for me, because one, I'm very busy, I don't really go out like that because most of my free time is spent on my goals, because like I said, I either have stuff that I already got to do, like record, write, whatever, kids, work out. I got a full-time job. I'll make time for a social life, but it has to be planned for the most part, because otherwise I'm going to default to working towards getting my business up and running. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point I want to get to the point where I work for myself, but I got to start before I could get there, So online dating has just been the thing the way to go. It's cool though. I have met, even if it's just we texted or FaceTimed or whatever, I have interacted with some different men or whatever. It's been interesting because it's helped show me what I like, what I dislike, even show me who I am as, learning about who I am as a person in that type of interaction, because it's easy to say you're going to do things in theory when you're not actually having to walk it out. But then it's like when you have to walk out different scenarios, that's when you find out if you really about me, if I'm really about what I'm talking about with this whole healthy relationship dynamics, being healthy, communicating expectations, being whatever, you know what I'm saying? So most of these people I have not met. I have only actually been on two in the whole year ish that I've been doing it. Now on and off. It's not like every day I be on there like, oh my gosh, I gotta find whoever. Nah, a lot of times it's when I'm bored or when I have some downtime or whatever, I'll scroll, swipe, whatever. And then if they swipe back, you know what I'm saying, then we see where it goes from there. If they ain't talking about nothing though, then I don't really try to. And what I mean is like the people who maybe they're not on the app a lot or whatever, but they just kind of message you sporadically whenever, and it'd be like, what you doing? Like small talk, which I'm not a fan of small talk anyway, but talk is a means to sometimes get to deeper conversations. So I'll go through it. But if that's all we do whenever, I'm cool on that. And usually I end up unmatching them people now anyway, because I don't have time for that. But I've actually met two dudes. One last year, talked about it. We met up. We were supposed to go to dinner the next day. He ghosted me. That was my first experience with ghosting. And I was just like, wow, like this is what people do. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned that people may not feel like they owe you explanations, this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. So the other day, right? You know what I'm saying? No, the day before my birthday is when I started talking to this other dude. I ain't even gonna think of a nickname for him. This is why I don't be telling people the name of my podcast show. Like, of course, I tell them I host a podcast, this, that, and the other, but I don't tell them the name of it because y'all know I talk about my life and how I'm trying to grow. And I don't want you having access to that immediately. I think that's unfair. I talk about a lot of vulnerable stuff on here, fears, insecurities, etc. You don't get all that just, oh, let me go listen to it. Now, if you just happen to find it, okay, that's on you because you did your research. But I'm not about to make it easy for you. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I don't tell them, because then if it don't work out, and when I talk about them on here, I don't need to know that, oh, they might be listening, even though y'all know I don't really, okay, I ain't gonna say that because some people do piss me off. But anyway, we met the day before my birthday. We were talking. I really enjoyed our interactions. He was on it, and it's not like I'm a person who doesn't, reach out to people first or whatever, but I didn't even really have to be because he was just on it, initiating communication, wanting to meet, which is a big thing on online dating. Is like, I'm not trying to spend a bunch of time messaging somebody and not meet them because you don't even know if they're real out here. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got time to be getting catfish. So he had invited me over to cook for him, but I told him I wasn't going to come to his house right away because it's like, I don't even know you. And the first time we meet for sure has to be in a public place. So, okay, cool. We had our date. So we had our date basically a week later or whatever. We went to lunch. I knew he had told me way earlier in our interactions that a lot of times he's quieter at first until he gets comfortable with people, which, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. But it wasn't like he was just quiet, unresponsive, not initiating conversation and all that during the date or whatever. So we went to this sports bar. We were going to try to play pool, but I guess because of COVID and remodeling and whatever, it just didn't work out. So we went to two different ones, not too far from me. And then we ended up just eating and talking at the second one. And I've don't think I've ever been to a sports bar before. So it was very the ADD in me. There was just a lot happening where there's like all these TVs and it was just insane. So we're talking about the different games. We're talking about, whatever. Excuse me. We're talking about different conversation. Okay, cool. So I was supposed to be doing something with my friend for my birthday. We were supposed to go to dinner that evening. That's why we ended up actually going in the afternoon instead of that night. And he was going to go do whatever. And I'm not a person that I expect you to message me all day, whatever, because y'all know I'm busy. He knew I was busy, but he also know that I make time for people if we plan it. Because that's one of the things he was like, if you're so busy, how do you date and all that? And I was like, I make time, but if no one tries to make plans, then I just default to what I got to do or whatever. So then let's back up though. So in the leading up to it, we talked every day. That is not what I expect from people, but that was the pattern. And pretty much like not all day, every second, but all throughout the day, we were communicating, you know what I'm saying? And not just some, oh, what you doing? Like actually having conversation. Cause that's another thing that's irritating when it's like people just read, oh, what you doing? Oh, how was your day? Okay, that's cool. But how am I going to get to know you if all we talk about is how was our day? We would talk about like all kinds of random stuff. He was funny, all that. Again, talking every day. So we went on the date and then we didn't talk that night, but I wasn't really, I didn't actually end up going with my friend because I was tired, and I actually ended up sitting with my daughter and watching TV and movies and stuff, but I was okay with that because I wasn't really tripping. And again, I'm not somebody that necessarily has to be talking to somebody all day, every day. But what I will admit is this: I enjoyed myself when we went out, and I had told the people that knew that I went on this date that I enjoyed myself. I would have went out with him again. You know what I'm saying? Notice how obviously that's not the case. So then what I noticed is the next day I was talked to him about, mind you, with iPhones, when you got that read receipt on, you know whether or not somebody actually read your message, you know whether or not whatever. So the next day the next day was the 4th, and we were kind of talking about what we were going to do that day or whatever. And originally he had suggested us making plans on the 4th, but we landed on the 3rd. Well, actually, we were supposed to do, anyways, we ended up doing something the 3rd, but initially he had mentioned potentially doing something on the 4th because he was off that weekend. And I had said I didn't want to make plans on the 4th because my kids, whatever. Well, my daughters, their sister came into town, so they ditched me, which I'm not even tripping. So I just was available, you know what I'm saying? And so as we're talking, I'm like, oh, what are you doing today? This, that, and the other. Now, mind you, I text him first, which that's not the first time that happened. So I didn't, but that had only happened one other time, you know what I'm saying? And so we're talking, what are you doing today? This, that, and the other. And I had mentioned maybe us doing something. And he was like, he already had plans, but he said that before I even mentioned that. It was kind of like, what are you doing? He said this. And then he's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I was trying to see whatever, but if not. And he was just like, yeah, sorry, which he had already said he had whatever. Okay, cool. Wasn't really tripping off that. But then when I responded, he didn't respond. And then actually I haven't heard from him since, because when he didn't respond, and that just, you know how you know the vibe. Sometimes you don't want to believe it, and you waste your time investing in something or someone that is no longer interested or whatever, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed myself. Maybe he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm who I am wherever, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. My point in all this isn't him. My point is myself. Because what I noticed is that initially I almost started to act like I didn't care, but I actually did care. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm obviously out here doing this little online dating or whatever because I desire to be in a relationship. I've said that on here before. I obviously was interested in him. That's why I went out with him, because I don't got time to waste like that. So if I actually make time for you, make plans, whatever, and then we hung out, I enjoyed the vibes, our interactions, whatever. He obviously felt different or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the whole point is I had to admit to myself that I was disappointed, and I had to just tell myself kind of like, it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay that you wanted something to work out a different way and it didn't. You know what I'm saying? That's okay to have those feelings. And so it's like, we got to stop acting like we don't care about things that we do. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop trying to have this facade of whatever we be trying to have a facade of, which sometimes we don't do it intentionally. Like, I really am the kind of person that likes to focus on the bright spot. But sometimes you actually got to tap into that hurt, that pain, that disappointment, figure out why, whatever, maybe sit in it for a little bit just to like embrace it and like get through it. And then now I'm like good, like for real. But it's just kind of crazy because how am I have a snatch for these hoe phase and I ain't got no hoes in the rotation? Can't get no hoes in the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Again, mom, just don't even listen to that part. So I did it, y'all. I accomplished my goal. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally and emotionally. Make sure you're taking care of yourself physically. Make sure you are trying to be healthy spiritually, whatever that looks like for you. Mine is my faith, my relationship with God, and the things that kind of surround that. For you, it could be different. The whole point is just be healthy. And make sure you're having healthy relationships. And sometimes that looks like being honest with yourself about disappointments, needs, whatever, and then doing what you got to do to act accordingly. Like, if he had hit, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't, but if someone somehow asked me, was you disappointed? I'll have to be honest and say, yeah. And I actually was honest with people. Of course, I'll get over it, is what I said, because I don't dwell on stuff, but like, be okay with feeling these feelings. They're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I will be back next week. Again, podcast happy hour should be July 24th. There will be no other live shows. Make sure you check out my blogs. Make sure you check out, merchandise, all that good stuff. It's on the website, tamarathedon.com. Until y'all see me again, hear me again, whatever.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for